We have an incoming hail, Captain.
Federation vessel. This area is under protection of the Klingon Empire. You will leave now.
Tactical, get those shields up. Engineering, damage report. Oh, I'll tell you what's got a damage. My back. Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. During this Klingon attack, the captain's chair got damaged. What really happened? Okay, so my captain's chair has normally been sitting on a piece of metal. In fact, let me grab it. So here is the bottom of the captain's chair. It has sat on top of this thing for years, and it's been great. But a couple weeks ago, I sat down in the captain's chair, and it just went funk, did a nosedive, and I went right down onto the floor with it. Luckily, everything's okay as far as the top is concerned, but this thing is busted. Took a while for me to figure out what the problem was. But it's basically this piece of metal here is supposed to, I don't know if you can make it out there, but it's supposed to be down and holding this thing like a C-clamp, but it has bent. And I can't push this thing back because there's actually a stopper there. Anyway, so I thought to myself, well, unless I can bend that thing back or get a welder, this thing is kind of toast. So what am I going to do? The captain's chair must ride again. So what I'm doing is I'm actually going to try swapping out that piece with another from a spare chair that I got. And I thought, why don't you watch me do it? So here's my solution here. I got an old second-hand office chair. The big trick was to get something in there. I'm going to turn the thing over in a second. But a thing down there that would hold the captain's chair. Really, luckily, it just has to be flat. You'd be amazed how many modern office chairs don't have a flat base here. They have a curved one for your bum. So, but luckily, the guy who sold me this was able to, he had a whole warehouse full of secondhand chairs. And this one was dirty. I mean, it's pretty gross. You can see the amount of dust and dirt on these things, but he sold it to me for a very good price. And basically, if I can unscrew here and down here, sorry for banging the camera a bit, but if I can loosen it at its various spots, I've got maybe not as big as the original was holding, but I think what I'm going to do is bolt these to something and then just attach that under the captain's chair surface underneath. So yeah, if we look underneath the captain's chair, basically just a big flat box, which shouldn't be too hard, basically. And you can see here, here's the rubbing marks of where the old pieces of metal used to be. So my plan is to put that block under there. And what I might do, my first plan is, well, other than take this thing off, my first plan is to protect this thing, because I don't want this to ever go away or go bad. I might actually get a nice big piece of pine or something for there, bolt that in as a one-time only thing, then bolt the bottom of the chair to that pine, and that way, if it ever loosens or comes off or whatever, or needs to be replaced itself, I can easily do that. And if the big piece of pine ever needs to be replaced, I can just take it off carefully as a one-off. That's sort of my game plan here. But my first flaw with that plan is just how thick is that? Now, I assume, like, what length of screws am I going to need? What length are these screws? Because, yeah, there's the original construction. That's holding the control panels and stuff. But I assume, oh, good, good. Right in there, I can actually measure that distance, and it's probably like 1/2 inch. So that way I know if I'm going to get a piece of wood here, I need whatever thickness of the wood, let's say 1/2 inch of that, then another no more than 1/2 inch to go in that way. Good, that saves me a step. Okay, that's the bottom piece off. That wasn't too bad. Got the hardware down there. The top of the chair's up there. It's going to go for the bin. This is a pretty decent base for its final resting place up here. But what I need to do, so yeah, game plan is big piece of pine for under the box. Then I will get screws that go through here into that pine, and that will be the captain's chair repaired, I hope, anyway. I got to clean this off, and I got to get some hardware, so be back in a bit. All right, I got my piece of wood that I'm going to mount in here. Now, I was laughing as I was doing the video. I thought, yeah, it'll be pine, right? And I'm sure everybody in the audience is like, no, you fool, you want to use plywood or something like that. Well, we're both wrong. What I got here is actually a piece of spruce. It's out of the Home Depot, and I just thought, yeah, this will work. This is for all projects. I told the guy, I'm mounting a TV on a wall. Yeah, that's it. Will this hold up? And he's like, oh yeah, totally. It's 3/4 inch thick. And the good news is it doesn't really need to hold any weight. All of the weight is going to be coming from my rear end downward toward the floor. So I've got some guide holes here that I've marked off and drilled, and basically just gonna screw it in. So I got myself some 1 1/4 inch wood screws here, and basically I figured if that's 3/4 of an inch, and I know this has got maybe 3/4, maybe a half. Math dictates if I go 1 1/4, that should be enough. That way it'll go through this wood with a bit of distance still. Well, here, let me hold this up. So basically, this is going to go into the wood about that much, and it's going to dig into the old wood about that much, which is definitely about 1/2 inch. So I've got the ability to make sure I'm not going to be digging up through the bottom of the captain's chair. And I also measured off if this thing top to bottom is 38.5 inches. That means that the halfway point is 9 1/4. So I've marked that off, and that leaves 14.5 inches left. So that means 7 1/4 inches from this side, and same down below. Math, people. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is get this all lined up. Now, I'm not sure which way this direction to go. I think I'm going to give myself, because I had one time the chair with the old back, or with the old bottom. Actually, you can see it here. So yeah, these burn marks indicate I usually wanted the structure closer to the front than toward the back. I think that worked out best for my center of balance. So I'm going to do this with like 4 inches on this side, 2 inches on this side. And I'm just going to drill these holes, or drill these screws right in. Here we go. So now we have the base in there equally, it doesn't look like it in this shot, but it is equally from that side to that side. And now we put that base that I separated underneath. Now my plan is, I think I'm going to set the whole thing on top of that base and just see what feels good. Then I'll crawl underneath and actually draw some, with pencil, draw some holes as to where's a good spot. Okay, change of plan. I have penciled in where those spots will go for the frame, but I'm definitely going to do this with the captain's chair on its side. I'm just trying to lie on the floor and drill up. I think I'm going to be prone to some problems. So I've got a bin here that'll actually hold this up, and then I'm going to just kind of hold this thing while I get the first screw going on, line it up as best I can, and that way get going. For this part, I got 1 inch screws because that's 3/4 of an inch, and I figured there's about 1/4 of an inch there. And they're even sort of Captain Kirk gold color. Got a washer, so that'll go through that into the holes. And once I've got it started, then at least I can do it properly. So we'll do that. Yes. Right about there. Funk Soul Brother. Just to get it started. Final screw going in. Alright, well, the captain's chair lives again, and it's a heck of an improvement, actually. I like what this new set of wheels has done. I feel like it's a car. I got a new set of wheels. Yeah, very, very thrilled. This has been an interesting little emergency bit of repair, but I'm glad it all turned out. Big thanks to Juliana on the Facebook Marketplace for hooking me up with a lower part of a chair that is working perfectly. Those of you who are very astute might have noticed either in the original part of my video, or if you're big office chair experts, you probably noticed I first put the thing on backwards, the little base piece, and I noticed like whenever I was trying to tilt, like to go back this direction, I was tilting forward. So I actually had to get underneath and swirl the thing 180 degrees. I didn't bother filming that because I thought it's not terribly compelling stuff. So I'm just thrilled that the captain's chair lives again and is in really good condition. And with that, now with that piece of spruce down there, I'll be able to just take out anything. If this particular base breaks, swap it out and just leave that spruce piece there and just drill whatever I get in there as a replacement. Thank goodness. All right, well, there you go. There's another video in the can. I hadn't anticipated this one. Bit of an emergency repair job, but we got her done. Until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole, and helm, execute.